Hi, I'm Kubeir. Welcome to my channel, and I am back with another exciting news today. Today's video is about Alberta Immigrant Nominee Program. I know a lot of you have been eagerly waiting for some update from Alberta, and Alberta actually is a hope for a lot of you out there because CRS scores is not in your favor. So the news that I have for you for Alberta is that Alberta has finally announced or reversed some of the changes that it had put in place back in April 2020. Alberta will now accept, or rather will process, applications and nominations of applicants who are outside Alberta and even who are outside Canada. And it is no longer a requirement that the person needs to be in Alberta for them to consider the application for nomination. Mind you, in April 2020, after the restrictions and after the pandemic had obviously created a big havoc and there were a lot of job losses that were happening, Alberta at that point of time had announced that they would restrict their nomination process, that they would restrict their Alberta Immigrant Nominee Program only for those people who are currently in Alberta, who are working and living in Alberta. And that had affected a lot of you out there because you were no longer eligible under the Alberta Immigrant Nominee Program, because it's a very exciting program. So I'm going to quickly take you to their website, give you the brief where the information is posted. And after that, we will very quickly go through their criteria, their eligibility, and see what can get you this coveted invitation. So on the Alberta website, and the link is in the description box below. If I click on changes due to COVID-19, I will very quickly come here and says this is as of May 25th, 2021. It was only announced very recently, and they are saying that we have removed the temporary April 29, 2020 criteria adjustments for the Alberta Express entry stream. The criteria now in effect for this stream is set out on the eligibility page, and we will go there in a bit. This criteria applies to all new candidates as well as candidates who have received a notification of interest letter or who had an application in process before May 25th. So even if you had received a notification of interest before the 25th of May, well, this is the good news for you. Alberta will accept and process your application. And this change means that in addition to candidates living and working in Alberta, candidates may be selected and nominated if they have Alberta job offer, of course. And what we are most interested in is this one, or have experience in an occupation that will contribute to economic development and diversification in the province. Then the eligibility page, that is what we are interested about, is Alberta Express entry stream eligibility criteria. And here you have the selection and the notification process. In order to receive the notification of interest, a very simple, straightforward eligibility criteria, you have an express entry profile. Of course, because this is an express entry linked program, you have stated an interest in immigrating permanently to Alberta. Now, mind you, you do not have to select only Alberta in your express entry profile. You can also select all provinces as long as you have included Alberta in your choice of provinces. That's good. You are working in an occupation that supports Alberta's economic development and diversification. That is a very generic statement. I'm going to talk to you about that in a bit. And you have a minimum comprehensive ranking system score of 300. That is what the criteria is. Now, what is Alberta talking about? What Alberta is saying with these eligibility criteria is that first thing that you have to have an express entry profile. Not only that, your express entry profile should be valid for at least 5 months, when you do receive an invitation. And this is very, very important. That's, if your express entry profile is not valid for at least 5 months, you may not receive an invitation. And I will show that to you where it says that in a bit. There is an application fees, and the criteria basically states that if you have your primary occupation as one of the eligible occupations or the one that Alberta is interested in, then and your CRS score is more than 300, then you can expect a notification of interest. Now, mind you, Alberta has never announced the list of occupations that they're interested in. So it always leaves us guessing as to what are these occupation code. On the Alberta website, you will find a list of occupations that are not eligible or that will not have a good chance of being invited. That has been mentioned, but the list of eligible occupations is not mentioned. That is something which is we are always guessing, but based on our past experience, our trends and history, we know that there are some occupation codes that are repeated, and Alberta has shown a lot of interest in those. On top of my head, 6221, 6235, 2147, 2173, 2132, 1241, 1242, 1215, 1311. These are some of the occupation codes that I remember on top of my head, which Alberta has invited. The only way we've been able to figure it out is because the past candidates have shared this information on the Facebook groups, on different social media platforms. So we are aware about these knock codes. And obviously, some of our clients who also received the invitation were from some of these knock codes. These are the factors that increase your chances of getting an invitation to apply for, or rather notification of interest from Alberta. That is, you have a job offer or you have work experience in Alberta. Okay, fair enough. You are a graduate of a Canadian post-secondary institution. Okay, fair enough. Or you have a relative, which is as indicated, who is living in Alberta. The factors that decrease your chances, again, something which you're very interested in, are your express entry profiles expires in 5 months or less. This is what I was talking to you about earlier. You work in an occupation, which is, if you were to click these, you would get to those, those lists. And this is the occupations that I was referring to you about, are the ones that are ineligible or will have low chances, or your profile will not be selected if your occupation is one of these NOCs as listed here, and if there is a high volume of submission across all AINP streams. How do you apply for Alberta Express Entry Program? Well, in order to apply, you don't need to do anything specific. You just need to have an active Express Entry profile. Your primary occupation, your NOC code, should be one that Alberta has an interest in. Obviously, the one that they have listed that they will not be interested in is already listed there, so you can check that out. And of course, your Express Entry profile should be valid for 5 months or more at least. So, check your profiles. If it's going to expire anytime soon, well, you should create a new Express Entry profile. But let's get back to the website and see what do they say about how and what you need to do in order to apply. Okay, Alberta Express Entry Stream, how do you apply for this? Well, you don't have to do, as I said, anything. You will, if at all your NOC is listed in demand, or if that is the one that they wish to select, then they will send you an invitation. So this is the application steps. Once you do receive the notification of interest, you will have to email a copy of the letter that you have received in your Express Entry account to this email address within 2 weeks of receiving your invitation. And in that email, you will provide your Express Entry profile number. You will provide your status information. If at all you have in the past applied to AINP, you will need to mention that. Once AINP receives your email, they will confirm your information, and then they will send you an email requesting you to submit an application. Now, in order to submit the application, you will have to create, or rather you will have to have a My Alberta Digital ID account, also called as MADI account, and you will be able to apply for your nomination through the Alberta portal. They will be sending you the portal link, and the information is also available over here. Well, once you do get the notification and you have the portal link, and as you just scroll down quickly, here is the Alberta online portal. You will be able to submit your application. There is a fee of Canadian $500 that you will need to pay when you are submitting your application to Alberta. You can pay that fee using a debit or credit card. But when you're completing your portal account, you will be able to see, once you've uploaded all the documents, completed all the information, you will be able to pay the fee and then submit your application. And hopefully once that is submitted and you have provided all the documents, you will receive your nomination. And with the nomination, you will also receive your 600 points that will then put you on a pathway to getting your invitation from federal IRCC, whereby then you will be able to apply for your permanent residence. Well, that was the exciting news for the day. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, then I think you should click here right now and then subscribe, like and share, because as you can see, we are always providing you with some very quality information, quality content, which can help you get yourself on your way to Canada. That's all from me today, folks. Stay safe, stay tuned, and I'll get back to you with more.